So in an effort to catch up on my reviews, I finally got around to watching the Daily Wire's Terror on the Prairie. This definitely isn't the third time I've done this intro. Okay, so yeah, I obviously have to talk about, if I'm going to talk about this movie, I obviously have to talk about the elephant in the room. And that being Gina Carano. Now, of course she was unfairly fired from Lucasfilm after tweets that leftists were very sensitive to, even though one of the other cast members did the same thing, and they got to keep their job because it fit with the leftist viewpoint. So he got to keep his job, and Carano was fired because it didn't fit their narrative. But she almost immediately got the lead role in this movie. It was offered by the Daily Wire. And this was the first time I had, fully heard of the Daily Wire. I kind of knew what it was. I had heard of it. But I wasn't, immersed in it. I didn't follow their page or anything. I didn't really know what it was all about. But this got me to actually kind of look more into it, and I'm glad I did, because they've made a couple of really good movies this year as well, outside of taking down woke bullshit, as well as I do. And I do have to talk about something else, too. After I saw this movie, I, of course, wrote down my notes that I do nowadays. After Firestarter, I realized, I started this with Firestarter, wrote down notes on, what's good, what's bad with the movie. And now I've kind of done it every time, that way I don't stumble over myself or forget my talking points. I clearly forgot to do it with Lightyear, because I hit, 3 moments from just trying to think of something to talk about, because I didn't have it written down. But then this time I do have it, and every time I have it, it's off camera. But after I wrote all that down, because I wrote it down, directly after I watched the movie, I saw a review from a channel called Geeks and Gamers, which is an awesome channel, and much like mine, they take down woke bullshit. So, with this, and I saw the review, and when I watched it, pretty much everything I wanted to talk about, they covered in that review. And I realized, so I'm going to end up basically saying almost the same thing. So, if you've seen the Geeks and Gamers review, and you think, hey, you're just saying the same thing, well, yeah, but that can't be helped. And Geeks and Gamers, if you for some reason see this review, I don't think you will, but if you do, I know I'm basically saying what you said, but I'm sorry, but it can't be helped. So yeah, I've dug into everything, behind the scenes, or before the movie even came out. Let's talk about the movie itself. Is it any good? Just saying it as a fuck you to Lucasfilm isn't enough to be a good movie. Is it a good movie on its own? I would say it is. It automatically gets extra points for being fuck you to Lucasfilm, but as a movie on itself, it's still pretty decent. And also, speaking of Lucasfilm, yes, I know there have been they've been attacking fans recently and all that other stuff, and and I'm gonna do an entire rant about them attacking people with Kenobi and Lightyear. That'll be a rant probably tomorrow. I said I'm catching up on these, but new videos like that keep getting added, and I would like to thank Geeks and Gamers for bringing those to my attention. But I digress. But yeah, the movie is I wouldn't say a very fun movie, because again, it's this is a very dark and gritty movie. Movies like this aren't supposed to be fun, and that's not the point. And I've seen people criticize movies, the Daily Wire movie, for being not family friendly. Fucking excuse me? No, this movie is not meant for, this is not a family movie. I saw somebody commented on my Hyperion's review, said it's pretty stupid that, among his rant, it was it's pretty stupid that Daily Wire's superhero film is rated R and is not eligible for my 9-year-old to watch. Then don't let your 9-year-old watch it, jackass. Some of the best comic book movies, or best superhero movies out there, like Logan or Deadpool, are not suitable for kids. Hell, recently, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, I would not say that's suitable for kids. That's a hard PG-13 right there. My parents won't allow my 9-year-old brother to watch the movie. So no, it's not meant to be a family movie. And something I do have to praise this movie for is, that's something I really like about the Daily Wire movies. No political agenda. Not just in the fact of, oh, it's catering to Republicans like Hollywood caters to Democrats. No, it doesn't do that at all. It has a story, it tells a story, and it's done. Thank you. This is something that Disney and companies used to know. Tell a story and be gone. That's it. But no, nowadays they have to shove their political agendas into every single one of their movies, and that's why their movies aren't doing as well. That's why Top Gun Maverick is the top grosser of the year, and I'm actually kind of happy about that now. And I'm glad that Lightyear's bombing at the box office because of it, especially after Chris Evans' attitude. But again, we'll get to that in another rant. And so, of course, Gina Carano's great in this movie, but another big standout is Nick Searcy as the villain. He is a lot of fun in this, and Carano, of course, served like the two bright spots of this movie. The story itself, I like the story. Again, Westerns usually aren't my thing. Like, I know there are people who like Westerns. They're just not my thing. But it doesn't matter if it's not my genre. If it's a good movie, it's a good movie. Same thing I talked about when I reviewed Halloween Kills, which was terrible. It wasn't just the fact that I didn't like it because it was a horror film or a slasher film. It was the fact that it was a bad movie on its own. Like, you can make a movie in a genre that I can't stand, but if you're a good movie, I'll acknowledge that you're a good movie, even if your genre isn't my thing. Westerns, I don't hate Westerns, but generally, if I'm going to watch something, I'm not going to watch a Western. It won't be my first pick. But this one definitely was a good Western for someone who doesn't really like Westerns that much. But I do have to bring up, there is one gripe I have with this movie. And it's the music. And that gripe is, where is it? There's no music throughout this entire movie. Now, I think I know why. I think they were kind of going for the fact that this movie is based around, like, these people, like, it's a lot of misery. These people are miserable. And a lot of times in movies, when there are people who have, like, a downer scene, like, there's not supposed to be any music. But there are a lot of just, like, dead silences in this movie, and it was kind of awkward at times. It wasn't one of those things where it's like you're supposed to be like everything is silent because people are taking things in. There is a lot of them, and the first few times, for a while I didn't even notice, actually. For a good, I'd say 30 to 40 minutes, I didn't notice that there was no music, but after it was probably like the third time, it was just a dead silence. I'm like, wait a second, where's the music throughout this entire movie? Like, if you want to have a dead silence every once in a while, that's fine, it can work, but there was no music throughout the entirety of the film, and that really weirded me out. Because music is a very underappreciated aspect of filmmaking. Do not underestimate the importance a good score can have on a movie. Do you think the original Superman movie would be nearly as respected without the Superman theme? Do you think Harry Potter would be just as respected without the score? Do you think Star Wars would be just as respected? I just realized that every single franchise I'm naming was John Williams. Well, he's a master for a reason. Do you think Halloween would be a classic without John Carpenter's score? No. So, yeah, you get my point. Music is a very important aspect of filming, and the fact that it wasn't there at all kind of weirded me out. And there was somebody credited for music, I'm pretty sure, but was it just the end credits? Is that it? So, yeah, that all things considered, that's not one of the things that'll kill the movie. It's just something that I found extremely weird and it did kind of annoy me at times, but it wasn't something detrimental, at least. And, like, the action is pretty good. Again, Western action is just not my thing, but it's well done. It's shot well. Like, the film itself is shot pretty well, and thank God. The editing isn't bad. The editing's pretty decent, I'd say. It's like all the technical aspects. The weird thing about the Daily Wire movies is that even though they're made on such low-ass budgets, they are still competently made. Like, Shut In was helmed by DJ Caruso, and the only other movie I'd seen of his was I Am Number 4, and the technical aspects was probably the only good thing in that fucking movie. And, Hyperions was directed by, I'm pretty sure it was a newcomer, and it was shot and edited super cleverly. Like, I went into this in detail in my review, that the shots and the and the edits and the way scenes were cut together was really clever. Here it's not like the way Hyperions do it where it's very stylish, but it's at least competently done. And that's all I ask in terms of editing, is that it's competent. And directing as well. I at least asked it's competent. Like, God. Like, why can't movies nowadays be competently directed? This one is competently directed. Like, I don't recognize the director. I don't. But clearly he has some talent to him, at least, which is far more than I can say for other directors in Hollywood, and the editors are trying, at least. Like, as far as technical aspects, because this one doesn't need a ton of special effects or anything, and that's really good. So yeah, not much to say about this one. I know I was kind of, like, rambling there, but unlike something like the Hyperions where I had a lot to say, this one I don't have a ton to say about, because I feel like everybody else has already said all I can say. Like I said, I watched the Geeks and Gamers review right after watching the movie, after making my own notes. I'm like, well, crap, that's basically exactly what I wanted to say. So I'm probably wrap this up here. This movie's a bit hard to score. Yeah, I think I'll give Terror on the Prairie a B. Yeah, that seems right. That seems fair. Like, I want to go higher as a pure fuck you to Lucasfilm and Disney, but I don't, that in good conscience, I don't think I can go to, like, the A range. But, yeah, a B, still well done. This is a lot better than Lightyear, where we got a freaking last Disney film got a C, so, well done. So thank you so much for watching it. What do you think of Terror on the Prairie? And I will be doing, like I said, I'll be doing a ranking of all 4 Daily Wire movies, Run, Hide, Fight, Shut In, Hyperions, and Terror on the Prairie. And that'll be pretty soon, so be on the lookout for that, and I guess I'll see you in whatever video or videos I make tomorrow. So I'll see you then.